Hey guys, so today we're filming a video about RiceGum because I said I'd film it in my The Gabby Show video. I'll link in the description down below if you want to see that, because they had some beef and then I said, oh, you know, like, I wonder what happened to RiceGum, and then people were like, film the video about RiceGum, and I was like, okay. Confession time. I used to watch RiceGum. I feel like I just lost all credibility in that moment. Like, any credibility I had built up over the last, what, 5 months? Gone. I'm sorry. I was that kid. That wasn't even that long ago. What was it, like 2 years ago? So I was 16. I should have known better. But then again, his content back in the day wasn't as bad if you didn't focus on it too much, if you just kind of brushed over certain things. It wasn't as bad. But then you look back and you're like, oh, debatable. I found RiceGum when he was making These Kids Must Be Stopped videos, and it was usually about Musical.ly kids, because 2 years ago TikTok was called Musical.ly and there was a lot more kids on there. There was Lauren Gray, Jacob Sartorius, baby Ariel, whatever her name was, and just like a lot more people that you could make fun of. But there was making fun of people and then there was bullying people. So I don't know why I enjoyed it so much, but I did. And now looking back on it, he did call a what, like 14-year-old a Shrek?
I'ma call you Shrek cause you look like an ogre. Heard you got accepted for the next role as Joker.
While he was like 19. Don't know if that's constructive criticism, if you will, but I kind of let it slide back then and I'll let it slide now, but it was debatable. Now this video is called Road to Irrelevancy because that is my series. If you're new around here, you won't know that, and that's perfectly fine. It's just a clickbait title. A sis loves her clickbait, and if you're upset about that, that's your problem. I'm not gonna solve it for you. But a sis loves her clickbait, and Road to Irrelevancy just sounds like a very aggressive title. Sometimes it's not as bad as it seems. I just like to stick with a aesthetic, and my aesthetic is irrelevancy. RiceGum isn't irrelevant, but he is not doing as well as he used to be. Nowhere near. So that's why this is a Road to Irrelevancy video. To any RiceGum fans that are still very cancerous, you guys are shite. If you come over here, I'm gonna help you out. I'm irrelevant. I'm gonna go kill myself. I can go f myself. RiceGum is king. I don't know who I'm messing with. I'm trying to grasp at relevancy. I don't know what else the rest of you guys say, but I just took this stress off you so you don't have to comment any of that. I'm glad you came here. I'm hoping you got at least one mid-roll ad just for the bants, but if you didn't, that's fine. Bye. Now that we got rid of the cancerous, let's move on to the slightly less cancerous RiceGum. These Kids Must Be Stopped was one of his biggest series that he made. I guess it's kind of like my equivalent of Road to Irrelevancy or Zoella videos. That's my aesthetic on this channel. That's when I found him. That's when I enjoyed his videos. It kind of seemed like a guy just chilling in his room in his parents' house roasting kids. Just my thing. And then he started blowing up. The reason why this is a Road to Irrelevancy is because if you compare his views then to his views now, just a little bit. Nothing crazy, you know, maybe just like 10 times as much views back then than now, but you know, it's not a big deal. It was mainly focused on musically kids. For example, making fun of like Lauren's looks. And she was like 13 back then. He's 22 now. He would have been 19, 20 at the time. I don't know why I enjoyed it so much. I just feel like I really hated Musical.ly kids. I was like, anyone that hates Musical.ly kids, I like. And then I realized he was kind of bullying kids, and I was like, oh. The criticism here is obviously that he's bullying kids. It wasn't just, where are their parents? What are they doing? It was that, along with roasting and making fun of their looks. He's 22 now, as I said, so those videos were popping 2 years ago. So he would have been 20 back when he was making that content, and the kids that he was coming for were anywhere between like 12 and 16. That is a big age gap. You know, that's an adult roasting kids, like actual kids. All those kids would insult him and then he'd insult them back, and it was like, you're literally a grown man having an argument with a 12-year-old. How does that make you feel? Because when you look at it that way, it's just a bit embarrassing. His next big thing from These Kids Must Be Stopped is kind of linked to These Kids Must Be Stopped. It's diss tracks. He started making the These Kids Must Be Stopped videos, and then at the end of those videos he would put a diss track. Those diss tracks weren't the best. His rapping wasn't great. The bars weren't that great. But as he made more, they kind of became better, and then he got to kind of the everyday bro church god level, which isn't amazing rapping, but if you compare it to like 2016 rapping, big difference. So you can give him props for that. He kind of improved as he went. However, for someone whose main thing on their channel is rapping, for it to be ghostwritten kind of kills the whole mood, because that was literally his biggest thing on his channel. His biggest videos are his diss tracks. The thing that made him blow up further from These Kids Must Be Stopped are the diss tracks. To then find out that the diss tracks were ghostwritten by Discord, kind of like, oh, okay, well that's your main thing gone then, because you can't really take credit for the bars because you didn't make them, you just rapped. I don't know, just kind of kills the vibe a little bit. After that, I guess what kind of blew him up further is the Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Alyssa Violet beef, where he made his potentially biggest diss track, which went platinum, I believe. I'm gonna double check. Which kind of hurts a little, doesn't it? Just a diss track, a YouTube diss track against Jake Paul went platinum. It was a good diss track. I mean, not in the sense that like, oh, the rapping's really good or the actual diss track's good, but just the whole like vibe of it was funny. It was a funny diss track. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. Unless you're RiceGum, then you definitely take your rap career seriously. But to everyone else, it wasn't meant to be serious. It was supposed to be a joke. Everyone kind of enjoyed it for that. Then we kind of get into his ups, and that's where iDubbbz comes in. iDubbbz made a content cop where he said kind of the things that I've said so far with bullying kids, etc. But there's a lot more. There's the less severe, like flexing money on his fans and claiming that it's not his fans, that it's for his haters. But it's like, are you anticipating that only haters are going to watch your videos? Because I'm sure the majority of your views come from your fans. So to do something in your videos and aim it at like 1% of the audience seems a bit pointless. You would be aiming it at the 99% that actually watch your videos because they enjoy them. The whole idea of, I'm not flexing on my fans, I'm flexing on my haters, doesn't make sense. You're just flexing on anyone that will look at you. And here's the thing, I'm not one of those people that's like, money is wrong, don't show your money. I think money's great. I think buying expensive things is great. Do it. If you have the money to do it, do it. Because at the end of the day, you only have this one life. Buy expensive is all I'm saying. If that's what you want to do. If that's not what you want to do, that's fine. If you want to give it to someone, throw it away, burn it, I don't give a f. But if you want to spend your money on expensive things and wear them, then that's fine. Because why would you buy expensive things to not wear them or use them? Then that just defeats the whole purpose of buying them, and you might as well just throw the money in the bin. Wearing expensive things or driving expensive cars and showing that isn't flexing. Or, you know, the bad version of flexing, because flexing nowadays has such like bad connotations. I don't think using the expensive things that you paid for is flexing. I think that is just being smart. You paid for something, so you're gonna use it, and you're not gonna hide it from people, because that would be being fake, right? You would just be fake. You're pretending to not have things that you do have. You're just like hiding a big part of your life away from people to kind of make it seem like you're this relatable, cool kid who doesn't have expensive, even though you're making like 100 grand a month. I'm not exactly expecting you to walk around in H&M jeans, but if you look at clips, I'm gonna throw them up right now.
Nike collab, I think these are pretty expensive. 1,000. We are here in my closet and I have some explaining to do. As you guys all know, I live in like a $15 million house. All my clothes keeps getting up. $800. I'll just start from top to bottom. Yeezy Red Octobers, Fragment 1, Off-White Nike. White Yeezys that are actually dirty because I actually wear them. Yeezys, more Yeezys, more Yeezys, more Yeezys. Off-White Air Maxes, and more Yeezys. And one last pair of Yeezys. Versace slipper. A Gucci shirt, he's wearing it all. $600. Boys are now my homies, we all got Gucci, Gucci, Gucci.
That's not just I bought expensive things and I wore them. That is literally saying the price tag every single time you wear something expensive. There is no need to tell people the price. If someone wants to find out the price, they will look up the product and find out the price themselves. You don't need to shout it out in every video. And here's where the excuse comes in. He said it was for the haters because, you know, people hate him, so he wants to show them, ha, I'm rich. So you devote a lot of your video time to your haters? I'm so confused. That's as if I spent like a solid 10 minutes out of 11 minutes addressing my haters and then spending that 1 minute on the people that actually want to watch my content. It's like, shouldn't that be your priority? That's your like core audience, not the haters. The haters are not your core audience. They're just there passively, just coming through. The people that like your video should be your core audience that you aim your content at. So if you're flexing and shouting the price tag out here and there, you're doing that to your core audience, not to your haters. I don't know if... I know you're lacking in brain cells sometimes. You kind of realize that over the years. You're not the brightest, or you just pretend to not be the brightest. I don't know. Maybe that's like a good excuse. Like the moment you fuck up, you're like, I'm just not the smartest. But yeah, I get that you might not comprehend those things as much, but it's been broken down to you multiple times. You should get it by now. Obviously, he made fun of rape. I'm not gonna get into that much. There was a girl on his live stream who basically told him what happened. Then he asked her if it felt good.
Oh, but did it feel good though?
No, I didn't.
She said no. He asked her if she called the police, or if she was gonna sue.
But did you sue him and shit or not?
No.
So guys, if you want to rape her, she won't sue you, so...
Shut up.
She said no, and he said, see guys, this is why you should do it to her, because she won't sue you. Comedy gold, guys. That was truly comedy gold. I thoroughly enjoyed that joke. That was great. I think more people should make those kind of jokes. I think it's so funny, like so hilarious. It was so so good. And then there was, he would call people on stream and they would ask him, are you recording this? And he was like, nah, and he was really streaming it to thousands of people. Love that for everyone involved. We love breaching people's privacy. Then a content cop was made. Obviously iDubbbz has this iconic. It took down people such as Leafy is Here, Keemstar, Tanamojo partially. Then he went for RiceGum in a disguise of Jake Paul. Before, iDubbbz content cop is the worst thing that could have happened to you. With Keemstar, it took him a solid year to 2 years to kind of rebuild his brand, and even to this day he gets enormous amounts of hate. He doesn't have like a core audience that's like, yay, I'm a Keemstar fan. We just kind of go there for the news. I'm not saying he doesn't have fans at all. I'm saying he doesn't have like the kind of fan base other YouTubers have, where people care about them as people rather than the things they are saying. So that kind of him up. Leafy is Here hasn't been around for a while, so we can see what that did to him. With Tanamojo, it's a mixed bag. I don't think anything could kill her career because she truly is just a train wreck. She's a car accident that you can't just look away from. She is the perfect example of how our generation promotes the she can fuck up so much. She scams people. She lies to people. She's just a person as a whole. She had a content cop made on her and people still give her attention. Why? Tell me why. If you're a Tanamojo stan, if she has those, comment down below why you are a Tanamojo stan. I just want to know, because she doesn't seem to give a single flying f about any of you for her to scam you, and you're still just there. Blows my mind a little bit that you just sign up to being scammed. Back to RiceGum. iDubbbz made a content cop on him, and that was the last content cop I think that iDubbbz made, and it was basically disguised as a Jake Paul content cop because that's what everyone wanted. Everyone wanted a Jake Paul content cop. That was at the time of It's Everyday Bro, that whole situation. Everyone's like, make a Jake Paul content cop. So he did, but he didn't. It was a RiceGum content cop, and I actually kind of get why he did that, because Jake Paul and RiceGum are more similar than you think, except RiceGum is just a lot worse. Yeah, Jake Paul panders to kids and his content isn't the best and he makes jokes and he's kind of cringe, but if you think about it, he didn't make rape jokes or record people's private conversations, except for the one time where he doxed Post Malone and the other time where he filmed an apology to his neighbors. Actually, you know what, thinking about it, they're both just as he made a content cop on RiceGum. RiceGum lost subscribers for like 2 days and then he started blowing back up again because he was at his peak at the maybe not peak, he was coming off his peak at that point, but it's still up there. So he obviously wasn't gonna lose too much from that because his audience isn't the kind to listen to common sense or logic, which is why I waved them goodbye at the start of this video. This isn't really made for the fanboys. There's the RiceGum fanboys and there's people that hate him. This is made for the fanboys because they won't get it anyway. They're fanboys for a reason. They will go through fire for him. And then there's people that hate him. You'll probably relate to this video somewhat. I don't have much of an opinion on RiceGum anymore. I mean, I used to like his content. I never really liked him as a person. Now I don't like either, so I think I just grew out of it. But he's also just a shitty person, so I decided to talk about it. Now, if you're a RiceGum fanboy, you're gonna think I'm a shitty person because I'm roasting your god. That's fine. You do you, sis. I waved you goodbye way at the start, so I don't know why you're still here, but you know, stick around for the ride, I guess. Then we have his social blade, kind of the main inspiration for this video, I guess. Let's check it out. He's not, okay, I'll just show you guys. RiceGum in the last 30 days has gained 16,000 subscribers. Now that is not great. I know I've had better months than that, and I've only been here for 5 months and I've only got 170k. So that says a lot in the grand scheme of things, because he's got 10 million subs and he at his peak was getting like 10 to 15 million views per video. So for him to get less subs a month than me, and in the last 30 days he has gained 26 million views, which seems like a lot because that is a lot more than my whole channel has since I started it. But if you compare it to his peak was in July 2017. He gained over 200 million views. So if you compare that, that's 10 times as much as he's getting a year and a half later. Not saying irrelevant, saying road to irrelevancy. He's got mixed days, so some days he'll gain, some days he'll lose, but it won't be a lot of gain. So for example, he's got days where he gains 2,000 subscribers, but then he's got days when he gains 140 subscribers. Then he's got days where he loses 800 or 500 or 100 or 1,400. So his daily average right now is 540 subscribers, like positive 540 subscribers, and his daily average for views is around 870,000, which is good. It's a good daily views, but subs wise not looking too great. Now, do I think it's because of all the controversies he's had? No, I genuinely don't think that's got anything to do with it. Is it because people got bored of him? Yes, 100%. The thing is, if those controversies are the thing that killed him, they would have killed him back when they happened last year. iDubbbz Content Cop, he hasn't had any new controversies since then. So we're only talking about the controversies that have already been spoken about last year. If they didn't kill him last year, then they're not the reason why he's dying this year. The thing that killed him is people got bored. He's been around for 2 to 3 years. He had a boom. His channel kind of took off very quickly, kind of from month to month, if you think about it, because in April he was getting around 50-ish million views, and then he jumped up to what, over 200 million in the next 2 months. When a channel grows that quickly, they will lose just as quickly, and it's kind of been shown before. That isn't the case for every channel that grows quickly, but it tends to happen. They quickly run out of ideas, get burnt out, and then they start losing views and subs, and it's kind of what's happening to RiceGum. His controversies haven't made an impact because his kid fanboys don't care about the controversies. They think he's a god and they will follow him through fire. What happened was they either grew up the way I did and they don't find the content appealing anymore, or they just got bored. The thing about our generation is we lose focus very quickly. I don't watch some of the channels I watched last year, and I don't watch some of the channels I've watched half a year ago because I get distracted very quickly. The new RiceGum came along and people just left. It's kind of how things happen, but I don't think he should get too butthurt about it, and I don't think he is, because at the end of the day, in his peak he was making what, 100k a month. I think he'll be just fine, guys. Let's not worry about RiceGum. I think he'll be just fine. Even if his channel died today, completely deceased, 6 feet under, he would be just fine. Irrelevancy is just part of YouTube. It will come to everyone, including me. It's not about if it will come, it's about when it will come. That was a mad sentence. But yeah, I think he's just fine. He's had one of those careers where he could retire right now and be just fine, as long as he was smart with his money. But yeah, that's kind of the point that I want to leave this on. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, anything in the comment down below, and subscribe, because I post videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and a bonus video on Fridays during December. So turn on post notifications, follow me on all my social medias that will be on screen right now, and description down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.